Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi. I hope you're having a great Valentine's Day. Me and Big Dog had a pretty good Valentine's Day. That's right, so still in red, carrying the love. Got my characters here. Jack and, oh man, I forgot his girlfriend's name. Anyway, because this is kind of a sweet day, we are having a little boozy milkshake. So it's strawberry. It's supposed to be hot fudge, but I got chocolate, a little bit of bourbon, vanilla, not vanilla ice cream, the vanilla, which you use for baking, whipped cream, and that's really about it. So not bad, nice little treat. First time I had a boozy milkshake was in Texas. And I think it was called The Shop. If I can find it, I'll load it. I'll put the link below. I think it was called Boozy Cow, something like that. They had all kinds of them. Rum and chocolate milkshakes, vanilla, and of course whiskey, bourbon. Mint and Bailey. All kinds of different shakes that were had a little liquor, a little leaded. But very, very good, very extravagant, so it was nice. We went there only a couple times. We weren't in Texas that long. It was just something different. But anyway, as you can see, this is actually Saturday because me and Big Dog went out for Valentine's Day. We went ahead an early dinner. It was nice. Some pics from our early dinner. Went to Olive Garden. We also had done a run by my mom because we wanted to. Big Dog wanted to give her flowers and wish her happy Valentine's Day. We kind of did it early because we're still dealing with our jet, who is getting better, but we got to make sure we change their diapers. So it's actually Saturday afternoon. Big Dog, I'm expecting him home soon. He went to a flying event. So, of course, I've got Jet and Luna in here, so you can probably hear Luna munching away here. And I've got Jet behind me because she thinks I'm going to give her a treat because that's what she just thinks I'm going to do. So that's why you see the door open. But we're going to go ahead and drop a little bit of money. And I wanted to share something that I'm finding a little bit interesting. I do hope that you all enjoyed your Valentine's Day, whether you were with your gals, or with your partner, or your spouse, or you could... or it was just you loving you. I hope you had a great day. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to drop a little bit of money here, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right, well, let's see where this leads us, all right? Here we go. All right, drop a little bit of money. So let's see, how much are we going to drop here? We will be dropping... here's 40, 50, 60, 70, $72. Just dropping a little bit. Got hummingbirds back. I'm so glad to see that. One of the things I wanted to talk about, because I've noticed this, and I've noticed this as I've gotten older. So you let me know if you see this too as you have gotten older. And I'm not talking about when I was like, I've gotten to be 30 or 40 or 50. No, I'm talking about because I've gotten older. And I noticed that I think probably a little bit when I turned 30, but more so since I've turned 60. And I've even had a conversation with Big Dog about this. I'm not sure if I spoke to my mom about it, but I know I've spoken to Big Dog about this. And I found this interesting. So let's go ahead and drop a little bit of money before I get started. So here's 10 here. So, took my mom to her PT, so we'll talk about a little bit of the week because this kind of leads into what we're talking about. And last week, not including this week, last week, there was this lady there who was just waiting, for her appointment with the PT people there. And she starts telling me her story. I've never found myself, as I've gotten older, I'm much more open. My son has even like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean what's wrong with me? And he goes, you never used to be like that. And I go, well, blame Bruce. Blame Big Dog. Because Big Dog is from the Midwest, very open. Neighbors are family. See, I didn't grow up like that. I'm from SoCal. You kept your business to yourself, head down, move forward, and don't be making eye contact. You just keep moving forward. So, and when I walk into a room, I landscape. I survey the landscape of what's going on in there. And I still do that. It's just something that's an innate in me, something I've always done. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's just Gigi being Gigi.
Isn't
That's
it?
right. That's right.
Big Dog don't do that. He's open, hey, everybody's his friend. No. That's not the way Gigi works. But I'm finding, so let's get back to this lady. So this lady, Vicky, she came in from Texas. She just moved here. Sounded like her husband had passed recently, and her kids wanted her to be closer to them. So her kids brought her out here. And she just started going off about her dad and her grandfather and the way she was raised. And I was like,
You talking to me?
because this isn't a small waiting room, and the PT facility isn't real big, so everybody's hearing her business about what she's talking about. And I'm just sitting because I'm quite intrigued by her story because she is quite the character. And as I'm listening to her, she's talking about stuff that's happened way in the past, and it's almost like she's listening to old tapes. And I told her, you know what, you ain't gotta listen to that no more. Those are old tapes in your head. You create new tapes. You create what you want to do now, who you want to be now. I go, don't, that's all, that's in the past. And I was surprised that I was even sharing that, with her, because I do believe that, sometimes we get stuck in replaying those tapes all the time. And those will sometimes keep us where really we don't need to be at. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just thought it was interesting. Hold on one second. That might be, Big Dog's on his way home. So, because I figured as soon as I started, he was going to start coming home. Because I just have to open the garage for him because I've got it locked right now. Anyway, if you see me stop, it's probably because I have to go unlock the door. But anyway, let me keep moving forward, Gigi. Keep moving forward. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Of course, when my mom was done, I shared the story with my mom about with this lady. I'm sure she heard a lot of it. But it just that was it. Does it say tell me whatever you want to say? But it was interesting to me because I've always worked with families, and families always have stories. When I would work with the families, they'd be like, because they're angry. But it wasn't that they were angry. What was behind that? They were just scared because, you're dealing with their housing, and that's something that they need. They need to be able to live someplace. They need to have their families place somewhere. So I got that. So I would let them say whatever they needed to say, and then when they were done, I said, okay, I can help you if you want me to help you. If you're ready, I'll help you. And then 9 times out of 10, they would usually apologize about the behavior in the beginning, knowing at the end I was just there to help them. But I knew that they needed to get that out in order for us to work like a team to help them move forward. So I've learned that about people. They all have a story. I'm just finding it surprising that people just out of nowhere are telling me their story. So fast forward another week. Okay, let's see. I was going to, like I said, put in a little bit of money. Let's see how much do I have here. I don't think I was doing this here. I already got that. Oh, I was going to do my holiday ones because the holiday did help with me and Big Dog going out. So then fast forward this week, and this lady, Cheryl, she, the day before, she had just come in from Kentucky. And again, I guess she was back there with one of her kids and it wasn't going well. It just wasn't a good situation for her. So she ended up coming out here with her daughter, and she's going to find a place, and she already knows what she's looking for. She knows the area, and that's going to be her forever home. And no, you never know. You know what I'm telling you? My mom's already moved twice. She's in her 80s, so don't say never. And I'm a firm believer. I learned a long time ago, never say never, because shit's going to happen. Shit's going to happen, and you don't want to have to be eating your words. So I've learned that long. That was like life lesson of mine that I learned. So anyway, I can hear Jet back here. She's coughing. She's fine though. So anyway, and then let's see how much do I have here. So 5, 10, 21, 22. So where was I going to put this? I was going to put it in our teeth because we don't want rotten teeth. So anyway, she proceeds to tell me that she was with this guy for like 23 years. They didn't get married, but they were partners, and their relationship was back and forth, but that he died a couple years ago. She's telling me this whole story, and about how her and the child that she was living with was, I'm just, okay, and when I left there, that's how we're going to be dropping today, folks. Just a little bit of money. When I left there, I was struck again by how people just want to share their story. And then, so we leave there and I share the story with my mom. I guess I need a little bit of my milkshake. Thinking Big Dog's going to want one of those. So anyway, as I was leaving, we went, took my mom shopping. One of her favorite stores, she's got Fab Five, TJ Maxx, Ross, Dollar Tree, Walmart, and Marshalls. Those are the top 5 for mom. But anyway, we had already gone to Ross, and I was parking the car to TJ Maxx area. She was already in the store. And as I'm walking back, this lady stops me and is asking me about where the store is at. So I'm talking to her. She goes, I just got in from Virginia. And I'm thinking, so I'm thinking, does it say, like in Lucy's little picture of the psychologist, drop in 5 cents and talk? But I do find the older I have gotten, I'm talking about now that I'm in the 60s, that people seem to be very comfortable sharing their stories with me. And I'm not just talking about folks my age. I'm talking about younger people are not afraid to come up. And I always get compliments, doesn't matter what the age is, young or old, about my hair. And I get a kick out of that, especially the young people. And the young people will stop and talk to me. So it's not just, the older, and 9 times out of 10 it's also females. So I find that interesting. That and they'll just start going off, talking about, what's going on, where they came from, what they're doing, and I just, depending how busy I am, I might sit and, because obviously they need to share something. Obviously they feel that they need to share with me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I'm not, I never, because I go back to the time when I was traveling and we were leaving this museum. It was like a museum, this park that my boy had taken me and Big Dog to back east. And I still remember him, Mom, calling me from the car. And because I was talking to these people from New Mexico. Now, why do I know they're from New Mexico? Because they told me they're from New Mexico. They started telling me their little bit of story. Anyway. And so I get up to the car and goes, what are you doing? And then I go, oh, just talking about those people. They're from New Mexico, blah, blah, blah. He goes, why are you talking to them? You never used to do that. And I was just like, what? What? And I told him, blame Big Dog. Because Big Dog talks to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually the one waiting in the car. Come on, Big Dog, gotta go. And I found it interesting that that's how he had seen me. And I think he had every reason to see me like that, because I have been very, very guarded before. Like the resting bitch face. Yeah, I wasn't mad. 9 times out of 10, I was just thinking. But I know I can sometimes have a stern look. I know I have intense, when I'm talking to somebody, I know sometimes I can be intense because I want to look them in the eye. And, to me, people won't lie to you they look you in the eye. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I'm not going to go there. So I do want to be present when somebody's talking to me because I don't want to miss anything. Because then if I say I'm going to do something, I want to make sure I do. And I worked in an environment early on that was primarily with men. And men, you better say what you got to say, and not be afraid to say it. Be clear on what you're saying, and you look them in the eye, and that's kind of. And my mom also kind of taught us, you look, when you shake somebody's hand, look them in the eye, and So that's kind of what I've always kind of done, But for him to say that, I think part of it is because I was very guarded for a very long time, and Big Dog has allowed me to step out of my box, and he has encouraged me to, not that I never had a problem saying what I think I had to say, but I was just like, people knew to step back, and I don't think I'm so much like that anymore, but you tell me. I'm thinking much better about that because I've always been curious about people. My curiosity has always been, why are you thinking that way? Where'd you get that idea from? So things like that I've found kind of, I've always been curious like that. I'm a people watcher, like what are they doing? What's going on? So, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that I'm finding the older I'm getting that people want to just tell me their life story. And I'm thinking, I don't really reciprocate that. I don't tell them my whole story. I'm still kind of, keep everything close to the vest, so to speak. I just find it interesting that they like to share their story. And I think it just goes to remind me is that everybody has a story, and we really get to write it. We get to, sometimes have control on the ending. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But we can start moving the way we want the story to go. That's where we have the opportunity to make that happen. Is where do we want that story to go? How do we want to make it happen? You know what I'm saying? So that was just something I've observed recently and not quite sure why, So anyway, that leads me into our quote today because that's really about it I have to say because I'm thinking everybody's still got the Valentine's Day, festivities going on, enjoying themselves, sharing time with your loved ones, whoever they may be. But I wanted to come by and share with you how my Valentine's Day went. He was so sweet. He got me some really pretty flowers, picked up a little cake. He picked up flowers for my mom. I shared some, sent a piece of the cake, when we took over there to her. So it was nice, and we went to Olive Garden because I do like their Italian margaritas. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the quote of the week, okay? Here we go. Here's the quote of the week. Every single ordinary person has an extraordinary story by Cecilia Ahern. Again, every single ordinary person has an extraordinary story. You have an extraordinary story. You do. Don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to share it with people who are willing to no, let me back up here. Don't be afraid to share it. I've got many stories that I have not shared with my kids. For whatever reason, I think it was my story. Because I think sometimes as parents, we have our own stories. We were kids and we were teenagers, we were young adults, and we always didn't do smart things when we were younger. And I think as you get older, there are some things that happen to you as an adult or as a child that, for me, I didn't feel I needed to share that with my kid or my kids because I don't want them to own that. I don't want them to carry that. I don't want them to have a chip on their shoulder because that's something that happened to their mom. It wasn't until they were adults and they had children that I shared a particular story with them in regards to my first job. Because it was, and I'm not going to get into the whole story. I'm just going to say it could have been a story that they could have ended up carrying a chip on their shoulder because of what happened to their mom. But I didn't use that story that way. What I did, I'm checking to make sure it's not Big Dog. What I did is I used that opportunity to move forward and do what I needed to do to continue to move forward in my career. That's the difference. You can let things happen to you. That's part of your story. You can let something happen to you. You make it part of your story, but you make it a negative thing and you carry it with you as just weight on your back as part of your story. But you don't have to do that. Like I also say, you know, every challenge is an opportunity, and that's what this was. It was a challenge, but I created an opportunity, and I kept moving forward. So that's what I'm saying. Extraordinary people, every single extraordinary person has an extraordinary story. We really do, you know. And if you have the opportunity to share, you know, something that maybe, you know, can mean something to somebody, don't hold back. Share it, because you might be surprised by how that story is received, and you may not even realize that maybe they need to hear your story. So, like I said, these two ladies going through life changes wanted to share that with me. For whatever reason, I was the one that was supposed to be there to hear their story, and maybe because I'm supposed to share it with you about the fact that it doesn't matter, because one was 66, one was in her middle 70s. And maybe it was the fact to show that no matter how old you are, you can change. No matter what the circumstances are, you can continue to move forward. It doesn't matter. You can do it. Female, male, you can do it. You don't have to wait on somebody. You can do it on your own. But you gotta move forward. You gotta take the step. These were two ordinary people who had extraordinary stories. And that's a reality. And that's kind of what I wanted to share with you folks today. I hope you had an extraordinary Valentine's Day. Because you know what Gigi says, tits up, you working stiff, work hard, stay focused, you can get it done, you can do it. I'm here with you. Cheers to you, and until next week, ciao.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be